Today we are going to do something a little bit different. It's not the news or anything like that. Instead, we're going to be doing... Right, what have we done? Actually, I forgot.
We're going to be doing an interview, yeah, because
interview?
he's sat right across from you.
Oh yeah, sorry. Interviewee, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Thomas Linford and I'm the Deputy Head Boy. Well, just gone. There'll be a new Head Boy and 2 Deputy Head Boys after me, but that's been my role for the past year.
What do you do outside of the school?
So I play field hockey at a decently high level, and I used to do musical theatre, so I was in lots of shows, singing and acting, and also dancing, but not particularly well. And it's something I really enjoy, but since the coronavirus kind of slowed down for me. I also play the saxophone and the piano, and I sing in the soul band at King's.
If we could go for a bit onto your actual role as Deputy Head, what does that actually involve?
Okay, so it is mainly the supporting role for the Head Boy Viraj. So I've, been there when he's making his big decisions, and Viraj makes really big decisions. He's done a lot behind the scenes with the teachers, with really important people, making things happen. For example, the prefect rota, which was the first thing he ever did, so organised, so well done. So even though I didn't do that myself, I'm there to help Viraj with that, and I've communicated with people, the assistant head boys and also prefects, trying to help Viraj out there. But the role of deputy head boy isn't limited to what you have to do, and I decided when it came to Christmas to take on the lead role in the toy bank. So as part of that, I was interviewed on the radio and led really, not just delegating, not saying, okay, you do this. I wanted to get involved, get stuck in, do things that everyone else was doing. So when it was toy collections, sorting the boxes, I was there every morning. And that's something that, as a deputy head boy, I feel very proud of. And that's something that I urge the next deputy head boys to pick something and go, you know what, I'm going to elaborate on that and make the school better by doing something special. And at the start of the year, when I was doing my head boy interview, I was really passionate about charity. I think charity is just a fantastic way to get everyone together to do something. I didn't want to take over and make decisions without asking other people. I think if you watch The Apprentice, for example, the worst things they do is just like either dictate or they're a bit flibby-flabby, and I was trying to find somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, like you don't want to force someone to do everything like you want them to do. You want to have them do stuff in their own way.
Exactly that. And asking people like, what do you think of this? And it does come across sometimes as like you're not that good of a leader if you're always asking, but no, it's really important. It's what needs to be done.
Yeah, because it's all about cooperation, isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. What are the greatest challenges, you think, to being deputy head boy?
Okay, so for me, it's the speeches and the kind of things I've had to do within the role. So I had to, when it was Remembrance Day, I did a reading of In Flanders Fields, and that was, it's a really tricky thing to do, to get and stand up in front of everybody, no matter who you are. I think the acting background helps me, but to read something that's quite poignant and quite like, you can't read it in a dramatic way as such, you've just got to put the feeling in it that's needed. And the toy bank, as I've talked about, there were challenges within that. We couldn't find a shop to start off with, and we ended up having to use the school hall this year. But it's all worth it when you see the donations coming in, and then also when you're giving out the toys. I know, Jakob, you were there. But,
It was really nice to see the smile on the people's faces as you were giving them all the presents, and they were like, well, thank you very much. I'm like, this is what we do. It was a really nice time. And as well as that, the fun you had with other people in the hall, because we had like a Nerf war as well.
Yeah, we did.
So yeah, you got to appreciate that. There's a lot of things they could do in the school.
Do you think if you were lower down the school, you would have liked to have got involved with charity things like that?
Yeah. I mean, especially when I was younger, like in the lower years, I wasn't really that involved in anything. But I don't know if that was because there's a lack of opportunity to do so, or if
definitely.
it was me being, I'm a bit shy, I don't want to do this. The sixth formers, they got it all covered. I didn't really do anything myself. But I'm glad that I joined like Whist Club and stuff like that to get me more social, more into the atmosphere of Kings.
I think charity is a great way of doing that, especially in the younger years. I think we do it a lot with sixth formers, and that's great, and it's always been that way.
What has been the most enjoyable parts of your position?
Got to be the Nerf one.
It has to be the Nerf one.
The Nerf one was
highlight.
absolutely fantastic. I think the way that people in my year have responded to being Viraj is kind of the way we've been head boy and deputy head boy. They come to us with the kind of problems or things that they want to see happen. At the minute, we are organising Leavers Day, and we've asked for suggestions of what they want to do, whether it be paintballing or go-karting, things like that. And it's just nice to see, I'll go over to a group of people and be like, what do you actually want to do? And it's nice the way they respond to you, because they know that you can make things happen.
At the beginning of you being deputy head boy, did you have any massive plans, and did that happen during your span?
So I wanted to do a bit of academic with them, but also a bit of extracurricular. So it could be a competition, it could be getting to work on a project together. I think we kind of alienate ourselves from other schools in the area, and I think we could definitely do better. So that was something that I wanted to do and make happen, do things with KG, and they have not happened, unfortunately. But yeah. Joe, this year, I've spoken to him a lot. He has great ideas, doing things with KG, like a drama performance. It's a great start. It's what I would have liked to have done, and he's the man to make that happen. So I apologise for not making that happen, but as deputy head boy, you don't have that sway. You can kind of be there, but the head boy, he's the one that makes the decisions and the impact.
Do you think there's going to be much opportunity to be closer with Priory, for example?
Okay, yeah, I do. And I think if you have like Grantham schools doing something, not in like a league, or maybe in a league of just like they get to know each other. I think what's interesting about that is Priory are a mixed school already. I feel like we're obviously only blokes, and there's the girls' school down the road, so we need to have that mix, in my opinion. Otherwise it causes problems.
So obviously you're coming near to the end of year 13 now. So what is it that you're set on after King's?
Okay, so I've applied for university, and I went through the motions with that. I have offers from Durham, Warwick and Sheffield. They're my three favourites for civil engineering. But I also applied for a degree apprenticeship. Now these aren't, but people know about them, and they're very, very competitive, but they're not like as well revered as university. But you are going to university at the same time as well as doing a job. So that's what a degree apprenticeship is. And I've got one with one of the biggest civil companies in the world. They're global, called Atkins. They do massive projects like the HS2. They've done stuff with nuclear energy, and I really can't wait to get started there. So I applied and I got through all the different rounds. There's plenty of rounds. It's not just your personal statement. There's an assessment day where you are with other people applying for the same role, and you're assessed on the way you interact with them, which is quite different to an interview. So that was an experience for me, and I was lucky enough to be given an offer with a starting salary of £18,000 while studying at the University of Derby, with all my tuition fees being paid for. So it's I'll be working really hard, I know that for sure. It will sometimes feel like I'm working two full-time jobs, I've been told, but I really look forward to it. So that's what I've got.
You touched about the three universities that were your favourites. Mm-hmm. What about them really stand out for you?
So for Sheffield, I went and visited them, and the professor there, fantastic man. I loved him to bits. He was really enthusiastic, and I'm not always looking for the best quality of education in like they're really genius, but how enthusiastic they are, how relatable are they, how are they going to introduce me to the industry. So Durham is a bit more of like a prestigious university, as is Warwick, but Sheffield out of those three was actually my favourite for engineering.
Very nice. We got some distraction in the back, but that's
some
fine.
Some fans outside.
Yeah, they're trying to get in.
Yeah. Autographs.
How do you think your position as deputy head boy is going to help you out later on in life?
Well, I think with confidence, and it's not something that like directly relates to the world. You're not going to go up to a guy and be like, "Sorry, I was deputy head boy, so listen to me." It's not that. But the way you speak to people and the understanding that I feel that I have of my peers, and also people that I've interacted with, especially with the toy bank, I think that's only going to help me. And it's something that you're not doing it just to put on your CV. You want to make that positive impact in a school so that you can say that I've been there and I've done something, and I've made a difference to certain people. And if you are, coming up through the years and thinking about applying to be in the prefect system and assistant head boy, deputy head boy, do it, man. Because I did the interviews for head boy, and the amount of people who I had come after who had only applied for assistant head boy, who wished they'd applied for head boy, was crazy, or for prefect and then they hadn't applied higher up. I think you just got to go for it because there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly. If you have the opportunity to do something, definitely try and exploit that. Definitely try and go for it because you don't know what's going to happen. You may be nervous at first, thinking, "Oh, I might not be able to do head boy." However, you don't know. You've never been a head boy, so you don't know. You've never been a deputy. You've never been someone that manages 3 prefects. So yeah, just give it a go. Thank you very much, Thomas Linford, for doing this interview. Stay tuned because we have some more interviews lined up in the future with other people in the prefect system, but also some people outside of the school. So look out for that.